Today I decided I'm gonna give y'all like a mukbang today. Chinese chicken wings with the shrimp fried rice. And they come with like this hot wing sauce here. This sauce is really good, I promise you. It's not really hot, it's more so like sweet. Now y'all, with these wontons, I crack them and I crack them over my rice. And I got some of that cream cheese in my rice too. I didn't necessarily have anything to talk about, but I said, why not shoot like a mukbang? I hope everyone has been well. I guess I can kind of share with you guys something that happened to me the other day. I literally had like a breakdown maybe a few weeks ago. And it was so bad that it just came out of nowhere. It literally came out of nowhere. Hold up. After I break up the wontons over the rice, I pour this red sauce, over, a little bit of it, over it. Like that. I just kind of mixed it up, so. Okay, y'all. Okay. So, back to what I was saying, I literally had like a mental breakdown the other day. And I think it was prompted by like one of my boy toys. I'm not saying he was the reason why, but he was like a trigger. So what happened was, this particular boy who I go through it with because he's just like a liar. He lies all the time. Never fesses up to nothing. So I'm attracted to him though. I'm not gonna lie, he's like my type. He's like my type even though he shouldn't be. But he is. And I like the way he handled me. Like, he like a hood nigga. Like, to me, he like a hood nigga. So he got like that aggression. But it's like, for him, it's like, it works for him because he's like real soft too. Like, it's something about the way he handles me that kind of turned me on, you know. Anyways, I know this is a no good guy. I had actually blocked his number, but I ended up unblocking him. And apparently, he was trying to reach me while he was blocked, but he didn't know he was blocked. But like I said, I had unblocked him. Now, this particular morning, I had nothing on my head. My hair looking crazy. My little afro puff, or afro, whatever, my little small afro looking crazy. No lashes. No nothing. Might have been naked that day too. And so I wake up to my door, like somebody knocking at my door. And I'm like, who is that knocking on the door? Like, I'm thinking it really can't be for me. But I look at my phone and I see it was him saying, where you at? I'm outside. Now, he don't have a car. So I never in a million years thought he would just pop up to my house. But he did. So I said, hold up, give me a few minutes. Now, we had not been talking. I had cut him off, so to speak. You know, my version of cutting him off, where I always let them come back, you know. So I let him in, looking crazy. He said, hey, let me get a hug. And I was like, I'm gonna say his name is Jason. Don't touch me, Jason. I'm good. Like, no. He was like, I can't get a hug. And I was like, no. I was like, what you thought? So I go back to my bed. He tried to come over to the bed. And I was like, you can't lay over here with me. I said, go get on the sofa. Don't get in this bed with me. He was like, I can't get in the bed. I was like, no, go get on the sofa. I'm good. And so he go get on the sofa. And after he sat on the sofa for a while, you know, I'm still giving him attitude. I'm like, I don't know what you going through, but you obviously must be going through something since you over here. So what I'm gonna let you do is you can go ahead and lay on that sofa for a little bit. I'm not gonna bother you. I'm not gonna hold nothing I actually feel against you. Just go ahead and chill out, because I'm sure you are going through a lot. Like, I think he suffered from, like, not having a stable place to stay, stuff going on with his baby mamas, possibly his child, like not being able to really be there for his child all the time or whatever, because he doesn't have a stable place to stay, not really having gainful employment. You know, he suffers from these things. So I was like, what I want you to do on the sofa, just sit there, meditate, whatever you have to do over there, just chill out for a few minutes. That's what this is for. I was like, regardless of how I feel, I'm a nice person, so you have that much. You can go ahead and do that. They did that. So like, after a few minutes of me laying in my bed looking crazy, and him sitting over there on the sofa, he gets up and he jumps on top of me. And he said, man, stop playing with me. Like, that's the little aggressive stuff I'm talking about, like the where he not being aggressive like in the regards of like threatening my life, but like aggressive in the regard of showing off that masculine energy, like showing off the, like, he want me to submit to him, like, type deal. Like, that's the type of aggressive energy that kind of turns me on. And so he's just on top of me. He like, man, stop playing with me. I came here to come see you or whatever, like that. And I was like, no, Jason, you think everything is all fun and games. You can't treat people how you want to and just do them any kind of way, yada, yada, yada. And so I was like, no, get up off of me. I said, I ain't even brushed my teeth yet. Like, I was really low-key, like, kind of, like, self-conscious about, like, me not having my hair together and my lashes on and my, you know, he ain't never really seen me in that state before. Which, I don't be wearing makeup or nothing, but I still present myself a little bit better than what I was looking like when I just wake up in the morning. Ooh, excuse me. And so, all right, get off of me. I was like, hold up. Let me go in the bathroom real quick. You go back on the sofa. So, As I'm getting ready to go in the bathroom and get myself together a little bit, spruce myself up, I notice he on the sofa and he crying. And so, me being how I am, a Cancer, sensitive, emotional, all of that stuff, I go over there and start like rubbing this dude like his back and his shoulders, and I'm like, what's wrong? What's going on? And so I started trying to console him and like rubbing his head or whatever and having him lay on my shoulder. And I'm like, what's wrong? What's going on? And I just could tell he had a lot going on in his mind. And so what I said at that point was, I do not appreciate the way you treat me. And I'm going to not really go in on you how I want to go in on you right now, because I can tell you have a lot on your plate. And that does not excuse your behavior towards me. But me being the person I am, I'm going to be here for you right now in this moment, and we can talk. So I said, let me just get myself together. So I go in the bathroom, get myself together, come back out. And I think I let him lay in the bed with me, and we just kind of talk a little bit. Nothing major, you know. I just told him why I was upset and stuff like that. And he always deflecting and always making it seem like, you know, he's not doing nothing wrong and he just be having a lot going on. Whatever. And we're in a better space. Regardless, we're in a better space. So, I ended up calling out from work this day because I'm not gonna lie, he kind of like disturbed my sleep, and I kind of was like, didn't feel like going to work at this point. So he literally had popped up at my door, disturbed my sleep, and I just called out from work because I was like, I don't really feel like going today, and I think I still had some like little PTO left over or whatever. So I just like decided to take a me day, and so, you know, at this point, I had taken him home. Let me just fast forward a little bit because all the other stuff is irrelevant. This is the same old joker that just do the same type of stuff. He's manipulative. He's a liar. All of that stuff. So just imagine him just saying a whole bunch of sweet nothings, a whole bunch of whatever, and me realizing it but still going with the flow, basically. So anyways, I drop him off at his house, and he was supposed to call me when he got in his mama house. He said, I'm going to call you from my mama phone when I get upstairs. And so I'm like, okay. And basically, what upsets me about him is he never keeps his word. I never got that call. And that, in me, it triggered emotions related to the fact that it is so hard for me to find a genuine guy who's honest, who's a quality dude, who has something going for himself, who's not manipulative, who has no ulterior motives, and that does not just want me for sex. That's the biggest thing. That doesn't just want me for sex. And it just triggered those emotions. And so I know the following day, I'm kind of fast forward because I'm giving y'all kind of like my mindset of everything that was going on about how he never keeps his commitments to me, but he thinks he can just pop up, and kind of relates to how a lot of the men just feel like they can do me any kind of way. They can just sex me up like I'm just so pressed for sex, or like they just want sex from me or whatever. They don't see anything more out of me. I'm in a category of the fun girl. You see what I'm saying? So all of these things are going through my mind. And so the following day, I had got dressed for work. And I'm not going to lie, I had a lot of dysphoria this day because I was wearing these baggy, kind of like baggy dress pants and my uniform shirt. And now I don't particularly like wearing my uniform. I actually hate wearing my uniform. It gives me dysphoria because it's just so so unisex to me. It's not the way I like to dress outside of work, and it kind of creates negative feelings inside of me. I'm not gonna lie, but this particular day I had on some kind of like really baggy pants, and I had knew that before I walked out the door. And then like my wig, I just wasn't comfortable with my wig. I don't know how to do the lace stuff like that. It don't ever work out for me. So I wasn't comfortable with my wig. I know I go out sometimes looking wiggy, you know. I know that. I know I posted videos looking wiggy. And so I had got inside. I was going to the post office. And I remember when I got up to the counter, I was going to pick up a package. And when I got up to the counter, I remember the guy calling me up. And I said, yes, I'm here to pick up a package. And he was like, well, do you have the such and such? Just like, I don't know, I got a feeling of like how he was dealing with me. He could see right through me. Like he could see who I really was. Not to say this is not who I am, but I felt like he had clocked me. Let me just say that. He had clocked me, which it's not hard to clock me. You know, it's not like I don't go out into the world expecting to get clocked. It's not like that. I don't have a lot of negative reactions when I go out in the world. And I get a lot of people respecting me and just calling me what I prefer to be called without me having to say anything. And so the way he was looking at me was like, it just had made me uncomfortable. Like it made me, and it almost gave off like I'm at work right now, so I have to put on this professional face and deal with this person. But I might not particularly like them. And I see what they are. They're one of those trends. But to me, I read into it. I feel like I read into it more than what it was. He probably was not thinking that at all. But in my mind, the feeling I got, the way he was dealing with me was like, let me just get through this little transaction. Kind of like just straightforward like that. He was like, well, stand over here. Next. Like that. Like going to the next person. And I don't know why they just had did something to me. Like I said, I don't honestly think the guy had a problem with me. He might have not even clocked me. I don't know, but in the headspace I was in created negative emotions in me. Negative emotions that I would always be, how do I want to say it? I will always be other. I'll always be other. And most times I can rest in that and be confident in that. But this space I was in, with me having a lack of surgery, having a lack of breast growth that I would like, having hair on my face, having to wear these wigs that I can't really make work for me like I want to. It put me in the headspace of I don't want to go out into this world. So I got back home. No, I went to my grandparents' house first, and that's like started the breakdown of my emotional state. Like I just started sobbing, and like I had to go sit in the office and talk to my granddaddy and tell them how I was feeling and stuff like that. But ultimately I went back home and I really started like just bawling. Like I called my mom, I called like two of my friends, and I was just telling them like I'm about to quit my job. Like I really was going to not even call out. I just was going to disappear. I was going to disappear because, and then I think what started making me bawl even more is the fact that I started thinking to myself, this is the beginning of me starting to do sex work. Something that I know I would hate to do. Something that I know I wouldn't be comfortable doing. I'd be disgusted doing. I'd be disgusted with myself. Not to say that people that do it are disgusting. I'm not saying that. Like, I'm about however you have to survive, get to the things you want to get. I'm all about that. But I'm talking about me personally as somebody who doesn't really even fancy having sex like that. And to have sex with all these different people. I know I could not stomach it to a certain degree, but I felt in that moment that once I quit this job, this is going to sign the dotted line to, and it's not going to be easy for me to find another job. And then if I do have another job, I'm going to run into the same problems of me just feeling like I have to put on this smile every day, or have to try to assimilate into these normal people's world when I'm really like struggling with where I'm at right now in my transition. And so it was like a trickle effect of me thinking about my future, which was triggered all the way from the guy coming the previous day. This is how I'm analyzing my own process in my mind and in my emotional state. Because it was triggered from a thought of me feeling like the men I'm dealing with fetishize me, or the men I'm dealing with are not taking me seriously. And from that thought, it went to, why is it that they do that to me? It's because I am a trans woman. Or why is it that they do that to me? Because I am not good enough. And why is it that they do that to me? Because I am other, which went to the post office. I felt like other, which triggered all of these thoughts and emotions. So I broke down and I was really about to just quit. Thank God for my friends, my mama. You know, my one friend, he just so blunt. He's talking about some, you think you crying now. If you quit that job, you're going to really be crying because you know you like to get your nails done and all that other type of stuff. So he just like, he ain't about to play with me. My other friend, he was like, you got to pull it together. And then my mama said, this was the thought that made me feel like, hold up, I didn't go too far yet. I can get out of this. Because it was already approaching the time it was time for me to go to work. So I was going to be late to work either way. But my mama said, you need to call that job and tell them you're going to be there late. And then you need to go into that job and then call me when you get there. So when my mama told me that, it's like I snapped out of it. I snapped out of it and was like, hold up. I can snap out of this emotional state, get my emotions together, stop crying, and still show up to this job and not regret the decision I made. And that's what I did. I went to work and I called my mama. Sometimes we reach a breaking point as people. Not to say that everyone makes such rash decisions, such as quitting a job or wrecking a car or just blowing all that money, like just doing something stupid. Most people don't do stuff like that. And I've struggled with emotional ups and downs for a lot of my life. I've never been diagnosed with nothing like bipolar or anything. To be honest, I have seen counselors. I have seen psychologists, psychiatrists, whatever. I have seen those things. And, you know, if anyone ever feels like they can look down on me for those things, or as though I'm less of a person because I'm revealing that to you guys, then that just is what it is. But part of my story is I have struggled with these emotional ups and downs, which had a lot to do with my life prior to transitioning, me not being comfortable with myself, me always being a depressed person for the most part. This is why I always say right now, these are the happiest days of my life. Because prior, I was just going through the motions. I didn't have any hope for my future necessarily. I just thought I could be there for my mom and my sister, be there with my family, and just be this person that plays the part, plays the part of supporting them or whatever, or, never getting married, never doing such and such things because I was not comfortable with myself. So a lot of these things have left certain impressions on me still to this day. And it made me who I am today. I feel like I'm a stronger person because of that. But I have struggled with these emotional ups and downs much of my life. And it scared me that I was just willing to throw away my job just like that. And I don't want to say it was because of a guy, because it wasn't so much because of him, you know, but it was because of the negative feelings I have when it comes to my place in the world. So that's what happened to me a few weeks ago. I've been fine lately. You know, I still struggle with body dysphoria and dysphoria about my face. I promise you, like, I just be wishing that I had started hormones earlier, you know, before I really got older. Back when I was 20 years old, maybe 18, I wish I would have started then. You know, I've been shaving my face all these years, and it's just, you know, I'm not comfortable with, you know, it seems like my hair is still growing. Even though I've gone through all these laser surgery appointments, my hair is still growing. I have discoloration on my face. You know what I'm saying? But I also count it all joy that I am who I am also, because my circumstance could be worse, so to speak. You know, it's so many different girls out here that have their own things to bear with. And when I look at some of those things that they might have to bear with, I might say to myself sometimes, well, you know what? I'm happy with the package that I have, because my package could have been like that. Not to say they're worse or better than me, but I like the package I have as opposed to that package. You see what I'm saying? And so when I keep that in mind, in regards to things could be worse for me personally, then I'm able to push through more until I can get these things done that I want to get done in the future to make me more comfortable. I'm trying to position myself, so I'm starting to work on my credit. When I got my stimulus check just now, I spent all of it to paying off 2 of my credit cards. So those credit cards have been paid off. They are done. And so that's going to boost my credit. I tried to work on, it was a while back, I had signed as a co-signer with my mom on her student loan, and it was a pretty hefty loan, and so that's showing on my credit history. And me and my mom just called them this week to try to have me removed as a co-signer. It's called a co-signer release. And so that's the next step. Once I can get that hopefully removed from my credit, that'll help my credit some more. At that point, I'm thinking, should I get a house? You know, should I look into getting a house? I know that would be the smartest thing, but also I want to be happy as well. So I can look into getting a house as opposed to staying in an apartment, because a house is a very good investment. Or I could look into how soon I could get a loan for my surgeries that I'm looking to get, you know. Or I could, you know, get the house. I don't know the whole process, but I know a lot of people will oftentimes take out like a loan on their house, like an escrow account or something. I don't know about this type of stuff, but it's worth looking into. But I could get the house, you know, start making those payments of that house. And when I get to a place where I can take a loan out on the house, I can get my surgeries that way. So there's so many things that happen in my thought process. I need to start saving money. So like this whole week I've been cooking, taking lunch to work. That's another big problem. I go out to eat all the time. I sometimes have to borrow money from people, and then by the time it's payday, I'm paying them off the top of my paycheck. But that leaves me in a constant state of always having my hands out. Just trying to get at the place where I'm more comfortable, that I'm moving closer to my personal goals, and that I'm doing stuff that makes sense for me, you know. So I just wanted to share that with y'all and do like a little mukbang. The guy who I was telling y'all about that popped up on me, I ended up finding out recently that the name he gave me was not even his name. So he's been telling me a fake name. Even like when I asked him, I said, "Is that your real name?" And he was like, "Yeah, I mean, can't you tell I always respond to my name when you call me?" I really believed him for a point in time, but I was able to find out that that was not his real name. And I haven't really been talking to him since then. You know, I'm not going to lie. Did I try to reach out to him? I always want answers. I always want to know, like, why do you treat me this way? Like, why can't you just be honest? You know, I want to know those things sometimes. But some people will never give you that, you know. So I have not been talking to him. He's out of my life. And I be lonely here sometimes. One of my guy friends who has always been real sweet to me, and always, like, when he was out, he was always making sure I was taken care of. He's been locked up, and he's hopeful that he's going to get out, but it's just like this whole trial process has been dragging. He's confident he's going to get out, but who's to say? And so I can't put all my eggs in that basket. Even though he's a sweet guy, that could be a dead-end road. You see what I'm saying? But so a lot of times I get lonely. A lot of times I look for opportunities to bond with somebody. But a lot of the dudes that I'm dealing with, they're looking for opportunities just to fuck. Wherein lies the problem. I've been doing a lot better, guys. I'm at a better place. It comes a point where you have to just figure it out. I don't have to resort to sex work. You know, it's challenging sometimes working in a heteronormative society. I can't tell you how many times conversations may have come up at work where it appears that a lot of them may not know that I'm transgender, even though I assume that they do after interacting with me after a while. But it seems as though they don't because of some of the conversations they might have about somebody else. You see what I'm saying? Or I had, just for the first time yesterday, I think I was talking to one of my patients, and after I was helping her, she was like, "Thank you so much, thank you so much." And so I was like, "Yeah, no problem." And she was like, "Yes, sir." So she was like that, and I had not got that in a long time. And so, you know, instances like that can really, like, kind of scramble you. You know, even though it's a part of your life as a transgender woman, you're going to run into it sometimes. But those things can really kind of scramble you. And you just gotta stay focused. I don't have to go into sex work just because I run into those challenges sometimes. Those challenges are going to be the things that help build my character and help me to become a stronger person, to where it can just roll off my shoulders like water off a duck's back. I want to get to that point. And I think I did in that case. I was just like, I think when she said, I was like, what did she just call me? Like that, but I just kept it moving. You know, for one, she was my patient. For two, I don't feel like she was trying to be nasty. She really, like, that's what she felt, you know. And sometimes I don't be knowing if somebody say something. Like, sometimes people might be like it's easy. Like, I don't want to be the person that jump at every opportunity, and then it turns out they really didn't say that. Like, I have to really know you said something trying to be funny. Like, sometimes when I walk past some of the guards, I'll be like, "All right, y'all have a nice night, whatever, whatever." And I might hear somebody say something like, "All right, ma'am, have a nice night," or "You too, ma'am." But to me, it might sound like, if my ears are always perked up, it might sound like, "All right, man." Like, you see what I'm saying? And so sometimes I be feeling like I hear that, but until I'm certain, I try not to just jump at stuff. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm just getting to that place where I'm just comfortable in my whole entire essence, and just me, and knowing who I am, where I come from, and where I'm going. And so that was it, guys. Thank you guys for listening. I just wanted to shoot a quick little video. Nothing major, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Me just kind of telling y'all some stuff that's been going on recently. As always, make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those good things. And until next time, bye.